Welcome to SF Commercial Property Conversations with Bruce Bean, where Bay Area investments meet expert insights. Get ready to unlock the strategies of commercial real estate success.
So today we've got Patrick Butler with us, and Patrick is with Kimley-Horn, which is a very large engineering firm, 10,000 people. And so the most interesting part of it that Patrick and I have been talking about is the new expansion in data centers. And Patrick has been working very diligently to find locations for different folks looking in the real estate world, our world, for data centers. So Patrick, it's great to have you. I'd love to hear kind of how you got into this business, because you had an interesting little journey.
Yeah, thanks, Bruce. Happy to be here. But yeah, started at Kimley-Horn out of college after San Luis Obispo, Cal Poly, and started down in Orange doing aviation work, actually. We helped open the mid-satellite concourse at LAX, their new international terminal. And then in 2020, the private development market blew up. And so I was asked to switch over to a more traditional land development. Worked down there for a few years, and then home was calling. Born and raised in Novato, just north of San Francisco. And so I moved back up here to our Pleasanton office, and data centers started blowing up in 2022. So I've been helping with that part of our practice on the West Coast, and it's actually taken me all the way over to the Carolinas as well, just following our clients. So it's been exciting.
Yeah, which is an area that I wouldn't quite have thought about, but engineering firms, your particular engineering firm, is helping different clients find data centers. So the example you gave is that a client will come in with like 100 properties and say, okay, which of these 100 can I actually put a data center on in a effective manner? So I thought that was very fascinating that you're doing projections out in the world. So give us a little clue of how that process works.
Yeah, so clients, whether they're traditional data center developers for their own needs, or if they've maybe been in the industrial market and are looking to get into the data center world, they'll come to us and say, hey, we're looking to build a new site, or maybe build one and then sell it. And so they'll come to us with either a pretty well designed site plan, maybe they've had someone internal help, or they'll just come with a property and they'll say, hey, Kimley-Horn, can you help kind of vet out what the political climate is, what the zoning looks like? Is there even power and water out here? And so we'll do a little bit of due diligence and dive in for them and provide them a summarized report. And then they'll either give us a yay or nay to proceed. And then we'll go with concept design on those.
So it's interesting to me. Do you actually bring in architects at some point, or do you just do the engineering side of it?
So for some of these, we've actually been engaged before an architect has been involved, because the client just wants to see, can my building fit? Can I even access the site? We've also had some other projects where more traditional tech companies are looking to develop in more developed or urban areas. They usually already have an architect on board that's familiar with the industry, and we'll partner with them.
But they don't have an engineer on staff, so that's where you all come in.
Correct, yeah.
But sometimes the architect or the planner will do some of the legwork in terms of the political climate and so forth. That happen often. It sounds like you get in a team situation and kind of work with whatever is needed.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. If it's something in the Bay Area, I mean, we have a pretty good pulse on utilities and the political climate, just because we've done so much work in the different jurisdictions. So we'll have a pretty good idea of, okay, this city really doesn't want any more data centers, or, this city is actually open to it, but you got to go through quite a hefty zone change, California Energy Commission for power. So there could be quite a few hoops to jump through.
Well, I'm curious, of the Bay Area locations, who's saying yay and who's saying nay to data centers?
Yeah, so I find that San Jose is still open to it.
Wow, okay.
However, power is quite a lead item. Some other cities that might be a little bit tougher to work your way into might be like San Francisco, or on the East Bay, like Hayward or Newark. Some of those are a little bit more difficult.
Yeah. Well, and probably land is a big factor in those locations. How much land do you need for a data center?
Yeah, so in order to place one building, you're probably looking at least 10 acres, I'd
Oh,
say.
wow.
But that's for just one building. If we go out east, where they actually can build more than one building, there's some regulatory caps on how much power you can draw in California. But if you go outside of California, you can get into the gigawatts of power, which is multiple buildings, and they call them campuses.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it's quite a footprint. I mean, that's your hundreds of acres at that point.
So how much parking is required for a data center?
So actually, what we've had to do on recent projects is we ask for a variance and say, "Hey, we'll show you our our staff that's going on site, the different shifts, and this is how much parking we need." And usually, the city is okay with that. We also have to prepare a alternative parking plan in case the data center just becomes an industrial building. And so that usually involves building a parking structure in place of the substation or the generators. And so you're actually having to meet the code requirement, which could be like 800 parking stalls or something like that.
So most industrial sites require maybe like 2 per 1,000 parking spaces.
Yeah, something like that. These
Yeah.
buildings are 300,000 square feet. So
Whoa.
yeah,
Yeah.
you're getting quite high.
But you're saying a normal data center only needs a much smaller amount of parking.
Yeah, like 40 or 50 for a single building, much smaller.
Much smaller. It sounds like almost not even 1 per 1,000, maybe 0.5 per 1,000 or something.
Yeah. But you have to prove that through a parking study. And so that's all a part of the planning process that we handle.
Oh, you do the parking studies and everything. Yeah.
Yeah. So on top of engineering, we have our own CEQA team in house and parking, landscape. We like to think we're a one-stop shop for everything.
Well, I was amazed that you have what, 10,000 people working for this company.
Yeah.
That
800 are in California.
Oh, wow. So and then are you worldwide? How far do you extend?
So we're in the lower 48 and Puerto Rico. And so
okay.
we're looking elsewhere to see where we could always expand and follow our clients. But right now we're coast to coast.
Yeah, quite amazing. So you don't actually get involved in the marketing side of the equation. Am I right or wrong about that?
Well, I mean, if we have a client that maybe we've worked with in the past, I mean, we're happy to go hear about what other opportunities or what other things they're working on, just to kind of keep a pulse on the market. While it might not be mining for new projects, it's just we want to know where the industry is headed, because that only helps us understand, where our industrial perspective and current clients might be thinking.
Oh, okay. So you will go out with the marketing team on occasion and find out some new information.
Yeah, absolutely. We're happy to always go golf or catch a game and just kind of touch base with some of our clients.
So how big is the data center market? Any clue?
That's a good question. I mean, there's some pretty crazy figures of the revenue lost for clients on when a project doesn't get to market. I mean, it can be in the hundreds of thousands per day in lost revenue.
Oh, per day.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Oh, so this is a big driver. So an existing data center provider is trying to gobble up this market as quickly as they can.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's even with power taking almost a decade to get in California, the ROI is you can't pass it up.
Wow. So they get in line with PG&E just to get their power.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah. And obviously water is a big deal. How much water does a data center take?
So at least initially, the taps aren't too heavily impacted. They have these big rushes of need to cool the equipment, and so the instantaneous need for water is quite high. I mean, we've had to upsize public sewer lines in the city just to maintain all of that water that we used for cooling.
Oh, you mean to extract it
for discharge? Yeah. And so we'll have like on-site water tanks that can contain all the water, so then they can use it immediately. It's quite a process that goes on behind the scenes just to have enough water on site.
Oh, wait, I'm actually slightly baffled. So they actually distribute the water or use the water, and then it goes down the sewer line.
Yeah. There's some reclamation that you can get on some of the bigger sites.
Yeah.
But at least on some of the smaller ones in urban areas, you actually just don't have the space to provide a plant that can treat or even use recycled water just based on what's within it. It just doesn't isn't usable by the equipment. It would damage the equipment that cools. So even where you have places that have recycled water available, we can't use it.
So is the water coming out hot? I assume it is.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It is.
So, but that's
There's
it.
some loss to evaporation, but a majority of it is going to sewer, enough to require us to upsize trunk
Wow.
lines.
That surprises me. That's very interesting. So how hot is the water when it comes out in the sewer?
I would have to ask. Yeah.
Yeah. But
That's
but
once it's
obviously,
inside the building, we don't really get into that. We'll coordinate, but
yeah. But you engineer the process and make sure the pipes are the right size and so forth.
exactly.
Uh, this actually sort of shocks me that I didn't realize the water was just let go, that it wasn't a recycled kind of approach. But anyway, what do I know about cooling?
Crazy.
It sounds like it only happens at certain times.
Yeah, I mean it's not continuous, so that's why you get this really instantaneous um, big increase, and which leads to the increase in public utilities just to handle that surge.
So I assume that AI is driving a lot of these data centers.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think there's a stat out there of how much water every AI click or search requires, and so that's
Oh,
kind of
wow.
that's what I think of is okay. Every time I go onto ChatGPT or something like that, some of the water is getting used to generate this image or email template that I'm looking to create or travel itinerary. I don't know what the number is offhand, but
Yeah, but it's a lot. So you can go to chat and probably look that up.
exactly. Yeah, there you go.
Well, I'm curious, how much is AI affecting your business? Are you starting to use it more and more?
Yeah, I'd say there was a big rollout maybe 2 years ago where we actually created our own internal chat GPT that can screen our client information because we don't need our clients' information getting back out into the public server. And so it kind of has some screen walls on it, but still acts like chat GPT. So I'll use it for, hey, I'd like to write an email to so and so, and I'd like it to sound a little bit more professional than maybe what I wrote, or can you proofread it, make it a little bit more friendly on the tone? So we do use it day to day, and I know at least for like the Microsoft products like Word and Excel, they have Copilot that's been rolling out, and so we've been using that as well. I wouldn't say it's affected our day to day yet.
Yeah, it's not drawing the drawings for you.
Not yet.
Not yet. Maybe
Yeah,
in another year or two, we'll
yeah.
see. Yeah. But
I'd
I must
say
admit, Chat is very good at editing emails. I'm actually very impressed with what they do. Sometimes they change the tone a little too much, but
yeah, I
yeah,
definitely have to reread what they say and delete some of the lines, but I find it helpful for getting me at least 75% of the way there.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, I think it's a great tool to use for email editing and certain other things. I use it quite a bit. I will give them a sort of preliminary title for this podcast we're doing today,
Mhm.
Patrick Butler and, engineering and so forth. And then it'll give me 10 different titles to pick from. And it's pretty impressive what they come up with.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, I looked at your page previously. All the titles are pretty enticing. So curious to see what it cooks up.
Yeah, well, okay, I'll send you the ones that I cook up and you can select one if you like it. I'll
Okay.
I'll tell you which one I like and then you can decide if that's a good one or not. So, any rate, well, this is fascinating. I think we should keep in touch because I see this whole market is changing and developing very quickly, and who knows what's going to happen 3 to 6 months from now.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's only growing as we see more and more requests coming in. It's pretty exciting. And hopefully we're able to bring more stuff to market to help support all the AI increase.
Yeah, no, it is definitely a developing market for sure, and it's hot right now. So let's see what happens in another three to 6 months.
Yeah, let's do it.
So where can people find you if they're ready to open a data center?
Yeah, I mean, my email works, patrick.butler@kimley-horn.com, or my phone number at work is 510-350-0229. Our office is in Pleasanton, and we're happy to make our way out anywhere if you want to meet in person. But yeah, we're local to the Bay Area and would love to meet anyone.
And it sounds like you're ready to play golf also.
Absolutely. Played in high school at Novato High and trying to keep up with it.
All right. Well, I won't ask you your handicap right now, but let's stop the recording and go from there.
All right.
Great to talk to you.
Yeah, thanks.
That's a wrap on today's journey through the SF commercial real estate scene. Ready to share your story? Visit sfcommercialconversations.com/guest. Your insights could lead the next conversation.